Where we are is at Turtle Mound National Historic Site, which is in Canaveral National Seashore on the east coast of Florida. And Turtle Mound is the largest shell midden in the United States. Shell midden is an area where the Native Americans used to put all of their discards, primarily oyster shells and clam shells, but you'll also find pottery shards and even the remains of animals they ate like deer, or even in some cases human remains. There is throughout the park a lot of boat wake damage. You can see it on oyster reefs. You can also see it in a lot of places along shorelines, and Turtle Mound is one of the places where the shorelines have been seriously eroding in recent years.
Well, this project is part of our Faith in Action. We're not going to church on Sunday, so we decided we'd come out and do something for the community, for the population as a whole. And so we're replanting oyster beds and hopefully going to keep down the beach erosion that's washing away this historic landmark right here. I think keeping the earth and keeping our planet in decent shape and clean and in the shape we found it is every bit as biblical as some of the other things that are being done this weekend. So this historic landmark is a 6,000-year-old pile of oyster shells right here that the Timucuan Indians apparently piled up here. It's roughly 40 feet high, and I don't even know how wide, but it's an enormous pile of oyster shells. And the boat wakes are slowly washing it away as they come up and down the intercoastal waterway here. Is this the intercoastal? And so they were planting oyster beds, hoping to keep down that erosion.
Boardwalks constructed throughout the park allow you to walk through it without injuring any of the foliage. The views from the top of the 40-foot midden are just amazing. Volunteer work began long before our event. The CCA, the Coastal Conservation Association, met and tied these oyster shells to the plastic mats so that we could lay them and tie them together with circular concrete weights. Here you can see the effect of previous workers who've laid down these shell mats. Boat wakes have cut into this shell midden that's more than 40 feet high in some places, and you can see here the impacts of the erosion that's been caused by the turbulence of boat wakes.
You just grab zip tie. I like to go through the mat and then up through the donut weight. That way you put it in the back end and you zip it up, it'll stay. And then when we're all done with all these, we just go with them. Alright, we'll see what you did there.
Eventually, and very soon actually, authentic live oysters will begin to take root on these shell mats and protect the island from further erosion. The mats don't look like much, but here, laid along the waterline, they've already begun to attract oyster growth. These were laid by a previous volunteer crew. The next step is to plant foliage along the shore that will protect the higher, sandier areas. With any luck, the efforts expended here today will preserve this shell midden and the broad vistas that it affords for generations to come.
Hi, I'm Randy Vance. As part of the First United Methodist Church of Winter Park Faith in Action Weekend, I found this charity where Linda Walters was working on restoring oyster beds along the Indian River. We happen to be at the Shell Mound here, the National Historic Site. Is that boat wakes are causing the oysters to roll loose, and she has, through her research, developed a way that we can stabilize those oysters and save the mound. And so we came out to see if we could help do that. It was easy to see that boating does have an impact on these oysters, and so I'm happy to be able to help out, use our Faith in Action Weekend to put back a little bit, maybe even have the happy notion of not having another no-wake zone in our boating waters. Anyway, Bob, I hope this meets your mission. And this is Randy Vance with the Faith in Action Mission Crew from First United Methodist Winter Park of Winter